Hello. It has been a while since my last live stream, but I am here. It's a little bit late. I'm a half hour late today, but hopefully that's okay. And if anybody has questions, that's what this is for. We're going to be answering your questions about whatever questions you've got around the software development world or anything. While I'm waiting for folks to join the Zoom call and things, I'll just mention Epic AI Pro. If you haven't seen this yet, then you definitely need to check it out. This is my new focus. I actually wrote a blog post about this on my blog right here, the next chapter, Epic AI Pro, and I kind of explain why I'm so excited about it and what's so cool and all of that stuff. Yeah, definitely take a look at that. And what's really fun is I scheduled this workshop, and 5 hours later, it was sold out. So I am probably going to run another one of these. I'll announce that if I do end up doing that soon. But yeah, we're going all in on AI, and it's going to be pretty sweet. And I've got a blog post that I'm going to be adding onto here. So stay tuned to all of this. It's going to be super, super cool. So office hours, your chance to ask me questions and things. Let me just grab a link to this live stream and stick it right here. And let me see what questions have been asked that have not yet been answered. Actually, all of them. I've answered all these questions. So I don't have any questions. Is anybody watching? Because if not, then I have plenty of work that I need to get done today. I might live stream some of it, but yeah, it's all around the workshop that I'm going to be running for Epic AI Pro. So if nobody jumps in with I don't even have any questions on the live stream yet either. So yeah, if nobody jumps in with any questions, then I'm happy to just take off and go get some work done. Let me just double check here. Why did this, it's kind of weird why we got two of those. But yeah, let's see. I don't know if these chats are just not coming in. Oh, Taryn is here. What's up, Taryn? Taryn's here. You know what? I know where everybody is. Everybody is here at reactmiami.com. Yeah, there's a live stream right now, isn't there? Where's the live? Yeah, here it is. So we should all just watch the live stream instead.
Move over to.
Yeah, let's go, Jemima.
That's where it's at. Don't you want to be cool?
No scrubbing, huh? That's too bad. Anyway, super cool. Definitely go check that out instead of this. Yeah, looks like we do have some people, but yeah, just no questions, and that's fine. I'll give you just a minute to ask any other questions. The blog post, I'm going to be writing a blog post today, and the one that I want to write about is why MCPs means that you're able to use AI for free or enable your users to use AI. Well, they're already paying for it, and so you don't have to wrap it and pay for it again. They use the thing they're already paying for and integrate with your service. That's one of the things I love about MCPs, and so I'm going to write about that. So, yeah. In fact, like I guess I can write about that while you all are watching, so you can see how I do this. It's pretty interesting. So I use this service called Blog Recorder. I've used it for a number of things. In fact, I even used it to help me write a talk. So I never published that, but I was had a bunch of thoughts and I wanted to have it all crystallized. So here I'm going to record a new article, and let's see if I can think about the major points and cover everything that I want to cover. We're just kind of off the cuff. Here we go. So I want to talk about something that I think is really interesting around Model Context Protocol, MCPs, and with regard to cost. One of the things that always made me hesitant to jump into building AI-driven experiences is the fact that you have to worry about abuse of your system. You have to make sure that people aren't just using your app for free tokens or whatever. And the more people use your app, the more expensive it gets for you. And OpenAI and Anthropic are just thrilled about you using their APIs because all of that money is going into their pockets. And that's fine. And you can build some really, really great experiences. And I plan to build really great experiences myself over time. But and like really great experiences that integrate directly with AI and kind of wrap AI so that it can accomplish those tasks. But one really cool thing about MCP is that with the tools and sampling, you're able to reach your user where they are with an existing AI application like Claude Desktop, and in the future Gemini and ChatGPT and Cursor currently as well as other AI editors like Windsurf and VS Code. You're able to meet those users where they are. They're already paying for AI in those applications, and they just want you to accomplish some task for them, whether that be load context so that that context is available for them, or actually perform actions, which is one of the cool things about MCPs is that you can do those things. And on top of that, with MCP sampling, you can even have your server talk to their AI LLM to get completions as well. And all of this you can do without having to pay for any tokens. You can use the AI application that the user is already paying for, and you don't have to pay for the token. So all you're paying for is the hosting, or if it's a locally running LLM or MCP server, then you actually aren't paying for anything there. They're literally running it themselves too. So I think that there is a lot of upside on that side of MCPs as well. Users are already paying for AI. They don't want to have to pay for 30 different AI applications. It would be really nice to just pay for one AI application and then use it to integrate with a bunch of other services. And that's one of the reasons I'm really excited about MCPs, and I hope you are too. All right, there we go. So we're going to create an article using my kentcdodds.com blog AI model, which I don't even remember what that is, like what parameters that has. Had a couple chats come in, and Taryn is in the house. What is up, Taryn? How are you doing?
Yo, that was hard. I tried joining from my phone and it was a struggle.
Oh no. Well, I'm glad you made it. Are you here just to hang out and keep me company, or did you have a question specifically?
I do have one question because I mean, come on, it's like coming to office hours is like having a one-on-one with a black belt. You gotta make use of the time, man.
Yeah, well, let's get you belted up then, I guess.
I had a question about the Epic Web or Epic. I forgot what you called it. Epic Dev Config. I forgot what the name is.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it Epic Web Config?
yeah. What is it called? The Epic Web Config. Yeah. Yeah. Epic Web Config is what it's called.
Okay, cool. So we're actually like doing our own version of this at work, inspired by this.
Cool.
Because we're so sick and tired of having to like move from repo to repo and have different kind of configurations and just not consistent experiences across all the different repos that people are working in. And I had a question regarding like the rules you chose. I know you have like a decision section, and I don't know if you covered this at all, but do you have opinions about like these presets like unicorn? One of my coworkers talking about unicorn, and I know Airbnb was like the thing to use back in the day, but I think that fell out of favor and no one's using it anymore.
Yeah, we all figured out how brain dead that was. Yeah, so I never used the Airbnb config, by the way. I may have installed it once and I'm like, what the heck? And uninstalled it immediately. Yeah, it really took the world, man. Like, that was crazy. So now I really like being in control. I guess maybe I like doing a lot of extra work myself, maybe. I don't know. But I just like knowing about everything that I'm doing and like the rules that I am using. And so I don't use like the other configs typically. Yeah, just I like one of the benefits is, okay, well, and they'll keep the rule set up to date. Great. But that actually, for me, that's not a benefit. Like, I don't want them to change stuff and have it like add red squigglies in places, and now I've got to go and change stuff. So for a while, I actually had the KCD, what was it? ESLint config KCD odds, maybe? I can't remember. Yeah, here it is. So I have this config that is like, you could probably still use it. I haven't touched it in a long time. But as a part of this, I used a package, ESLint find rules. I built this and then somebody open sourced it, and so now I use it. In fact, maybe I did. Maybe it's still on my GitHub. I can't even remember. No, I guess not. I think I built like a simple version of this, and then somebody took it and open sourced it. It's great, but the idea is just find me all the rules that I'm not including with all the plugins that I have. So I want to configure every rule, even if it is just to turn it off. And so like that way I don't miss any rules. And I'm like intentional about the rules that are being used. I don't do this anymore because I just think it's overkill, and it's annoying when a package releases a new rule and now this is failing, and I got to go and make a decision about it. Maybe if I was working on a team and I'm like the infrastructure or the web infra team, and I want to make sure that everybody, like that's my full-time job, is just to keep us on the latest of everything. Maybe I would find this useful, but in actuality now I just find it annoying. So I don't really do that. I try to be really intentional and really minimal about the rules that I include. And so that's why I have that opinion.
You. All right. Intentional and minimal. And basically the drawback to using stuff like Unicorn or just Airbnb is they make updates and now your repo just gets affected and you have squigglies that you didn't have before.
Yeah, and like maybe I don't really trust their opinions, and you can do overrides, but if I'm going to start doing overrides, I may as well just configure it all myself and make all those decisions. And it takes longer for sure. And it also takes like having opinions. But yeah, so the idea with the Epic Web Config is this is useful for people who either don't have enough experience to have opinions, or have the same opinions and just want to have an easier way to set things up. So, yeah. And that actually is where the style guide comes in. It's like, yep, that's what these are for. I haven't really talked too much about the style guide. You probably knew that I think I like announced it.
We also are writing a style guide.
Yeah, cool. I actually based this off of the Airbnb style guide. That's like how I got the outline for how I wanted. I didn't do a lot of the things, and I like removed sections that I really have no opinion about this. I don't care either way. But yeah, so like this is where you get into real subjective territory, as much as I try to stay out of that. Some people just want you to tell them what to do, so that's what it's for.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So. Cool. Can I segue into another question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. It's about Epic AI Pro.
Oh, sweet. I love that. Let's talk about Epic AI Pro.
So I signed up for the workshop. I got the day off. My work's not paying for it, whatever. I'm paying out of pocket, not a big deal. And I haven't read anything. I just saw you do it. And I'm like, oh, let's go do this. I need to learn more about MCPs. I'm interested, right? Do I need to have experience with like Cursor or any of these like fancy editors? Because like I use NeoVim. I'm not that
NeoVim. All right. Let's go. Yeah. So like you don't have to. I think pretty sure that Claude Code has support for running MCPs, but you don't even have to do that to get value out of the workshop. There will be exercises where I say, okay, now wire this up in your editor somehow. So you may need to see, okay, like MCPs with NeoVim. I don't know if there's a way to do that. So maybe like you might just use the inspector for stuff for some things, and that's perfectly fine. Like you'll still learn things from that. If you don't use the tools where MCPs are supported, then you're not going to like be able to have the experience that like hopefully our users are going to have. But yeah, like you don't need to have that experience ahead of time.
Okay, cool. So worst case, I can just use VS Code. I think VS Code has MCPs. Okay, cool. Okay. I still got VS Code, so I'm fine. Okay.
Yeah, yep, you're good there. And then like we'll also be, I'll send an email with some of these prereqs as well, but you'll also be using Cloud Desktop, which has MCP support, so that we can play around with it. But that again, it's not required. In fact, you could just watch me do that part. So that's like the final test. Like, did it actually work? Let's use it with an actual client. And yeah, but you can use the inspector. It doesn't have AI integrated or anything. It's literally just like calling the endpoints that you're creating. But that's fine. Like that's part of the benefit of this is that you don't actually have to have AI for the stuff that you're doing. It's the user that gets to use the AI, and it just integrates nicely with your stuff. So
Right, right. I remember when you're talking to Sunil, I think that's his name.
yeah, Sunil.
Uh, yeah, yeah. What was it? It's becoming the new browser. I
That's
forgot the
my
tagline.
that's my speculative future. I think, and like I actually said this to Tejas. I was on his podcast as well, and I said if the big players don't build this by next year, I will stop everything and build this because it's just so obvious. It's such a good idea. And I really feel like they have to be working on this. It's insane if they're not. So, so yeah, this is my estimation for the future.
Cool. All right. All right. That's it. I got no more questions.
All
Excited for
right.
the workshop.
Cool. Good. I am too. I'm very, very, very stoked. All right. Let's check out. Yeah. So Discord still has nothing. We don't have anything in chat. Oh wait, no, we do. Mahesh. Planning on taking your Epic React course, but I'm also interested in learning Remix v3. Do you currently have a course for it, or are you planning to create one? So, first, Remix v3 is not a thing. It doesn't exist yet, but maybe you're talking about the latest version of Remix, which is actually React Router 7. I was preparing a React Router v7 workshop series, and I have put that on hold, maybe forever, because I am focused 100% on AI and helping people learn that stuff. So yeah, that's about it on that. The like, if you want to learn Remix, then this is the place you go. It's Epic Web Dev, full stack. This is going to teach you Remix. Some of the things are a little bit dated. The typings in particular, probably the biggest changes, and like some small changes on conform, which is what we use. But the principles are all there. You go through this thing and you'll understand Remix very well. So this is what I would recommend going through if you want to learn Remix. Okay. And then Aditya, what's up? I do remember you. And Akash, hey, what's up? Indifferent Ghost, name a stronger trio than Tejas, Kenzie Dotson, Sunil. I like those guys. They're great. I need React Router 7 training. This is it. This is what you want. No, I'm not joking. This is Remix v2, but it's basically React Router 7. They're like tiny, tiny differences, but this is what you want. This is React Router v7, effectively. Okay, cool. Well, with that, let's just see where my blog post ended up, and I'll get this published. And if nobody else has asked questions by the time I publish this thing, then I guess we'll just wrap it up today. So here's what the AI generated based on what I said. The cost-effective promise of Model Context Protocol. I like that. Yep, that's a good title. Haven't students dive headfirst into AI experiences? Well, there is a nagging worry about system abuse and the ever-increasing costs as your app gains popularity. It's like a double-edged sword. More users mean more expenses, while companies like OpenAI and Anthropic are laughing all the way to the bank. All right, I like that phrasing. Yep, that's good. MCP, Model Context Protocol. Let's boldify that guy. Meeting users where they are. So this is one thing that bothers me about this tool is that it adds too many headings. I don't need a heading for that. Actually, that heading was pretty good. One of the cool things about MCP is ability reach to do. Okay, so this is not entirely accurate. I think Claude Desktop and AI editors like Cursor, Windsurf, and VS Code. And Gemini, or let's see, we'll just say Google and OpenAI. Yeah, let's see. And OpenAI, yeah, let's see. Whoops. Google and OpenAI have already committed to shipping support for MCPs. In fact, OpenAI has already shipped an SDK that includes MCP support. There we go. So this is hold on. Definitely the standard going forward. So what's the big deal? Well, it means you can tap into these existing ecosystems without reinventing the wheel. The LLM wheel, host app wheel. And burning through your token budget. Yeah, okay, let's get rid of that heading. We don't need that. Now let's talk money. With traditional AI integration, you're constantly watching that token counter tick up, and with it, your expenses. This really does know my voice. Like, that is how I would say this. But MCP flips it on its head. Yeah, I would use that phrase right there exactly. It's very impressive. Here's how. Users are paying for AI. You can leverage existing AI capabilities without additional token costs. The user's already paying for it. MCP allows you to load context and perform actions using the user's AI the user's already paying for. Let's get rid of this. I'm actually using the AI for which the user's already paying. That's proper English. It sounds kind of old English, but that is proper. You don't end a sentence with a preposition. Are you kidding? Okay, it's like hitching a ride on someone else's AI rocket. Yes, I love rocket metaphors. Let's go rocket. There we go. MCP sampling, a game changer. But wait, there's more. Yeah, not sure I want that heading either. Maybe. It even used callout success. That is a thing. That's like MDX, or not. It's actually not MDX thing, but it is a thing that I actually have on my blog. Is a callout success thing just for styling purposes. Unfortunately, this isn't going to my blog. This is going to the Epic AI Pro blog, so it doesn't have a callout success. But that just blows my mind because I used the KCD blog model or training or whatever. Fine-tuned thing, and yeah, that totally worked. That's pretty neat. Yeah, huh. Well, we'll have to see how that transfers over to Epic AI. I'm not sure I'm gonna. I think we'll just go there. Yep, that's good. The future of AI integration. Generally excited. Doodaloo solves multi-subscription problem. Users don't want to pay for 30. Yep, it's cost effective. Yep, it's scalable. Yep, the do. It's just not. It's not just about saving money. It's about creating seamless. Yeah, man, that's so good. Yep. Okay, good. Save that guy, and then let's export the markdown, and then we'll go over here and publish this right here. New post. Here's the title. I forget what it was called, but I liked it. The cost-effective promise or whatever. Article, no video. Ooh, should I make a video for this? Nope, not going to make a video. This is just an article. That's fine. Resource created. Great. Go edit that thing. And doo-doo-doo. Paste that right here. Get rid of the title because it's already there. Cost effective. Yeah, that's fine. We don't care about how long the URLs are. Tags, MCP. There will be eventually other tags. I'm not just going to talk about MCPs, I think. Let's generate that SEO description. And yeah, I think this is good. We don't need that. Let's see. I'm still getting used to this. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a way to make a call out. I'm going to screenshot this and send that to the team and be like, hey, it would be nice. Okay. So we'll just make that a normal thing. And did that ever generate? It looks like that never generated. All right, so here's what we're going to do. This is an article. I would like you to make an SEO description for it that's 160 characters or less. And actually, let's put that at the top. Because I don't want to write that thing. Use my brain cells. Are you kidding? Discover. Yep, that's perfect. Save and publish. Off we go. And that is how we write blog posts in the modern age. It's beautiful. It's my own thoughts and all of that, but I can do it much faster than I used to do that. So let's see. It should show up here in just a second. Cost. I have 6 posts, but it's not showing up on here. There it is. Maybe it's only showing 5, or that list needs to be updated or something, but very cool. Cost effective nature, very neat. Let's see, just for the fun of it, let's go. Sorry, I never know what's in my history. There could be like private, personal things in there. So, like embarrassing things about how to take care of my kids when they're being jerks or something. Could you make an interesting abstract image that represents this post? Let's just see what it makes, and it could be something stupid and I won't want to use it. But if it's something interesting, that's just like, oh, that's a fun like brain thing, then maybe we'll throw that in. And yeah, let me double check. Still no questions. Oh, hold on, we got one. We got one, somebody bit. All right, been using React for a while, but after building content-heavy site with Astro, I started just using plain DOM stuff like get element by ID, add toggle classes instead of passing refs with user ref. Like I had a sidebar, just did that, and it felt super clean and elegant. In Astro or plain.js, it feels totally normal, but in React, it kind of feels like I'm doing something wrong. I agree with you. But then stuff like class lists, lock scroll during the modal is fine. Plus, now with RSCs, bundling non-interactive stuff at build time feels like more natural to use DOM APIs. Yeah. Where's the line? Yeah, this is a good question. It depends on what you are building. If you're building a highly interactive website that has like lots of different states and things, then I think you would, and things that you need to componentize because you need reusability. I think you really should be using the React component model for stuff like that and React State. But for really simple stuff, and in fact, like even for something like this, you don't need to use ref. You could have an on-click that does this, and I don't see anything wrong with this. Well, okay, maybe class lists. If you're updating a class list based off of, well, if it's just based, here's the thing you want to watch out for. Early in my web dev career, we were all using the DOM as our mechanism for storing state, and that became a real big problem because then you've got state just kind of all over the place, and things can get out of sync really badly. But if it's a matter of just like opening and closing something, then you're fine. And in fact, I do this with my own website, the mobile view. This is using the web standard for like dialogues, I think. I can't remember. Is it dialogues or modals or whatever? They call it dialogues, I think. Button, popover target, popover, that's what it is. And so here's my popover. And that's all just like web standard stuff. And so, yeah, then I do have some event handlers that are talking to DOM directly and stuff. So I'm not sure if I can say where there's a definitive line, but if you're building something really complex, then I think having some central state that is in your JavaScript is useful. Yeah, if you are doing something, yeah, and I think actually maybe that's the line. It's chill as long as you're not breaking React's rendering, like removing DOM elements. Yeah, I would say that's the line. If you're building a content site that just has a couple like sprinklings of JavaScript in places, especially with Astro, then yeah, just doing it in normal JavaScript is probably fine. So thanks for the question. And maybe they didn't notice. So answer just now on stream. I hope that was helpful. All right, there we go. Okay, cool. Well, I guess I'll post about this on the internet, and then we'll wrap this up and say, oh, actually, hold on. We were waiting for ChatGPT. Did it make something? It says image created. I don't see the image, though. There we go. What? Psh. Come on. Come on. Yeah, we're not going to include that. That's ugly. That's not what I was looking for. I should have given it more, like, this is the sort of vibe I'm going for, but that's okay. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Let's give it more. Let's give it one more try. One more try. We're going to take this as an example. Let's do this a little differently. Can you use this as an example or base what you make off of this? We'll just see if it can make something interesting. And where I would put it probably maybe right here, and then images. I can upload an image. I've not done this before, so this will be fun. Powered by Cloudinary. This is all custom software, by the way. The Scale Recordings team built Epic AI Pro. They built this. It's called Course Builder, and it is Epic Web and Epic React are not on Course Builder. I think maybe Epic React could be, but no. No, you don't get it. I want the style of this to be similar to the image that I'm attaching to this post. All right, and let's take a screenshot. Maybe it didn't like that JPEG for some reason, because it didn't like render it out like it normally does. I want it to be in that style. Although, like, our design aesthetic for Epic AI is very incomplete. This was like thrown together just so that it had some design aesthetic. So it may not even, it probably won't end up being like this. But I'm just kind of curious. That's where I'm at. I probably won't include this. The other thing I need to do, maybe I'll do this too, is respond to this call that was made a couple days ago.
Hey Kent, this is Tanmay. I'm a big fan of Epic React and Epic Stack.
Yo, what's up, Taryn?
Yo, I don't want to interrupt you, but I have
You're
questions
good.
now.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I just noticed I've been watching you for like 20 minutes in a non-creepy way. You didn't type a lot, which is pretty cool. But I did notice with Whisper, I'm using it too, by the way. Pretty cool. Thanks for the, like, I think you talked about it in the stream. Did you insert text into Whisper? Like you prompted Whisper, or did I?
No, I was prompting ChatGPT.
Okay.
But yeah, no,
Okay,
I didn't do
okay.
that. Yeah, Whisper is way cool though, right? It's
yeah.
increased my productivity a lot.
Yeah, I'm just noticing like there's AI all over your workflow, which is pretty cool. Like Blog Reporter, I didn't know about that. I'm probably gonna start using that now too.
Dude, the thing rocks. Yeah, it's so good.
Typing takes a while.
Yeah, it does. And like I have a jumble of thoughts in my mind, and if I'm typing, I have time to like kind of this sounds like it's a good thing, but I have time to process those thoughts, but it can be distracting. I just want to like say it, and then I can kind of tweak things and work things around. And at first, Blog Recorder, I had to tweak it a lot, but now I guess it's like learned the way that I write pretty well. And so I don't have to tweak things nearly as much.
Cool.
So,
yeah.
it's
All right.
pretty rad.
Awesome. Log recorder. That's my next tool. I'm gonna
Yeah,
try out.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I honestly, I think that the future, this I said this in my blog post, but I think the future is a lot less of these apps that use AI and a lot more of I'm using AI and it integrates with this app. I would like it to be that because I don't want to pay for I don't mind paying for them, but see, each one of these has to pay for the tokens that they are using.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather just like they be as cheap as they can be. And then I just pay for the one app. I think that this is possible. The tricky thing with Blog Recorder is that it's using Amazon's Whisper service that allows you to go like speech to text. And so I'm not sure that there will ever be, like it depends on what MCP sampling does. Like right now you can have your server say, hey, LLM, can you give me some completions? Maybe one day it'll say, hey, LLM, here's some text. I need you to turn that in, or here's an audio file. I need you to turn that into text for me. If that became a thing, then that would solve Blog Recorder, and I could just do Blog Recorder inside of ChatGPT, which would be cool. So
Yeah. Because having your reach, I mean, you pulled up like 3 different tools, AI-based tools, and it's like, okay, this is great, but each one of them is probably like a subscription that you have to pay for. So, it's piling on. So yeah, hopefully the future you're talking about actually ends up being a thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
probably a
kind of
combination of things.
Yeah.
But for me, like right now, most people are working at an existing company that does want to have some AI, but they're not really, they don't have like a special use case for AI. They're just like CRUD apps. And it's like, what is AI going to do for us? MCPs are the first spot where it's like, oh, this actually makes a lot of sense. I can just go to wherever the user is in their AI apps currently. So that's the bet that I'm making. Even if that bet doesn't play out, MCPs are still useful for a lot of people, and understanding how to integrate with AI in that way is still useful, even if we don't end up with the Jarvis feature that I'm expecting will happen.
Yeah, that Jarvis feature scares me.
Oh, why? Tell me why.
Man, obviously you need human intervention whenever you are doing anything, but giving like Jarvis or an AI the capability to make orders on my behalf or like access to what I want to say is sensitive data, that just scares me. It's like, okay, when I was with you in Utah last year and you were showing me the self-driving capabilities of your Tesla, cool, but you still needed to be there just in case, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to spending money, what if the AI like makes a mistake or something like that, or something even worse happens? So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
So I can see that hesitation, but like in a year or two from now, I'm going to be very happy with letting the car just drive itself. And I'm like, the software updates of the Tesla since we drove together have been really, really great. And I'm even more and more comfortable. Like I drive my kids to school every day and I just do it with self-driving. And yeah, I'm there and I can take over if something weird happens, but that's like decreasing a lot. And then I think in the early days of the internet, people were very concerned about using a browser to access their bank information. But now we're like, how else would you do it, right? Are you going to go into a branch? Like, no, thanks. So yeah, I think we right now the experience of interacting with an MCP is very much like, here, I'm going to do this thing, approve or disapprove of this, and look at the inputs and all of that. Eventually, I think the AI will have safeguards built into it that will check, am I sending this, is this actually what the user wants? And it will just be a lot better. So we're still very early days, but I expect that in a couple of years, it'll just be like, wait, how do you access your bank? You go to their website? Like, what? Like, doesn't it take several minutes to navigate around that old clunky UI? when you could just ask, how's my budget for the month? You know, like,
That's true.
and like, or like you're shopping for something and you don't remember what your budget is. You just say, do I have a budget for this? Like, that ability to interact with multiple MCPs is where like really powerful things, workflows can happen. But I agree with you. It's like handing the keys to your life over to a teenager or something and like just kind of implicitly trusting them. So I can understand why there's some hesitation there.
Yeah, hesitation for sure. But I do see definitely like, oh, this is very useful. Going forward, like just the MCP protocol, or I guess MCP is the protocol.
Yeah, the MCP protocol. Yeah, the ATM machine.
But yeah, because I saw Jack Harrington, he did a demo on his channel too about showing like how you could like use an AI chatbot to like make an order and all that kind of stuff. But in my head, I'm like, what if I misspoke and I said 50, but I meant 15 and I
Yeah.
50. Obviously, I'm a little bit more on the risk averse side. But,
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think you should be that way. I think that there's enough upside to solve problems like that.
Oh, yeah.
Where like sometimes somebody's working on something and I'm like, I see so many cracks in this foundation that like it's not even worth pursuing. I could name some JavaScript frameworks that I feel that way about that are not that did not succeed. Like I'm not talking about Vue or Svelte or anything, but like there are some JavaScript frameworks you've probably heard of that I can be like, yeah, I saw cracks in that foundation. That's why I didn't think it was.
I give it a 2.
Yeah, I didn't think it was useful pursuing that because of that. And so, I feel like AI is the opposite, where they're, or specifically MCPs, where the foundation is really solid and there are problems, but because of the potential and the foundation, it's worth solving the problems because the value is so great. So,
Yeah, but it was just crazy, not crazy, but like awesome to see how much you just got done by just talking. Like for me, like I wrote a blog post earlier this week. It took me a lot longer than you.
Yeah, well, that also like early in my writing career too, it took me a lot longer to write blog posts than it does now. And so it also like if you were gonna write a blog post about the trip you had over the weekend or something, like you could probably just talk about it and make that turn into a blog post. It would be really easy. So it's just like how much have you thought about this? How much are you a subject matter expert? Like how much do you understand this material? Also, it plays a major factor in how quickly you can put together content on it too. So,
well, one thing's fundamentally true. If you can speak, I know people can't speak, but you can definitely speak a lot faster than you can type.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's a big selling point for Whisper. And actually, for folks who are not aware, this is Whisper Flow. That's what I use. There's also Super Whisper is another one that people like, but I like this one a lot. And it's phenomenal. It really is incredible. Such a good experience. And I also use it on iOS. They're testing it right now, so I'm a tester. And
please add it to Android if you're watching anybody from Whisper.
Yeah, I think they're planning on it eventually. But that's one of the nice.
You cannot oversell this. It is amazing. I use it all the time.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And even like I go to my kids' gymnastics and there's like a bunch of noise going on, or I go to like a Starbucks or something. And I don't want to be the annoying guy over there, and so I'm like kind of whispering, but it gets it. Like it still hears me. It's amazing. So anyway, good stuff.
Okay, I gotta jump to stand up. It was great
Okay,
catching up with
yeah,
you.
it's good to see you, Terry.
Yeah, all right, I'll see you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, let me wrap up this really quick, and if there are no more, Jeremy, you can find a link in the description to the live stream or to my live page. From there, you can find a link to Office Hours, and on there is a link to the Zoom. So a couple things to get you there. It's actually intentionally friction. There's intentional friction there because I don't want just random people clicking the Zoom link on accident. So I'm going to respond to this, and then we'll be done.
Hey Kent, this is Tanmay. I'm a big fan of Epic React and Epic Stack. The question I have is, how would authentication work with the MCP? So I've been looking at your Epic Stack MCP example, and the tool calls right now you have made available are querying for data or like searching for data that is available for public consumption, so like users' name and email addresses. But how could a user access certain information that isn't available to anybody else and only available to them? How could we add authentication and improve this example further? Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
I think it's under, yeah, here we go, authorization. Yeah, okay. Hold on a second. Sorry, I was just going to say something and then I just remembered or thought I wanted to see what the response request 401. Yeah, okay. Yep, okay. Okay, it's actually pretty simple. This is a great question, and one of the things that I really like about MCP is that they have built-in support for authentication. And actually, one of the things I like about this also is that they didn't reinvent the wheel. They have OAuth 2.1 is the spec that you need to comply to add authorization. And so this is in the specification under the base protocol authorization. I'll add a link to that in the notes for this episode. Yeah, they have the whole thing laid out here, and OAuth 2.1 is a really, really great authentication and authorization specification that includes scopes and permissions and all of that stuff. And so you could have a set of tools that are free and open, like the ones that I have in the Epic MCP, and then you could add OAuth to your application, and now you can support authenticated requests and do things on behalf of a specific user, which is actually the thing I'm more interested in. The only reason that I don't have that in my example yet is because I haven't implemented OAuth, and eventually I plan to. In fact, I have a folder on my desktop right now called Epic OAuth, so at some point I'm going to be doing that. But there are actually also implementations of MCP with WebOS and Stitch, and there was another one that Cloudflare introduced in their Cloudflare launch week last week. Okay, actually I want to find that. Cloudflare launch week. Okay, developer week. Yeah, wrap up, I guess. Yep, here we go. It's right here. Yeah, Stitch. Oh, yeah, and Auth0. Actually, they have a blog post that I'll put in the notes for this, announcing that it's titled Piecing Together the Agent Puzzle, MCP, Authentication, and Authorization, and Durable Objects Free Tier. This is a really exciting blog post, actually, because of what Cloudflare is doing. And this is one of the reasons that I think Cloudflare is really the host of MCPs. It's really awesome platform that they have. And yeah, Auth0 was the other one that they have integrations built in. I'm not positive that I want to use one of these services. I kind of think I want to just run it myself or build my own version for the Epic Stack. Eventually, I do think that the Epic Stack will have OAuth built in, because I think that every application is going to want to have an MCP server. And if they're going to want to do that, they'll probably want to have OAuth support so that they can support like authenticated requests for that MCP server. So anyway, I'll link you to these the specification and this article. Hopefully it's helpful to you. Thank you for the question. Have a nice day. Okay, and link here. MCP spec on authorization. There we go. And yeah, we'll just title it Cloudflare blog post on MCPs. All right, submit recording. I really should one day make this happen on a background job. Eventually I might actually put this as a service potentially, and if I did that, then it would be running in the background. But right now it's running as part of the request. So anyway, that's fun. Let's do this. Post this here to the internet. Actually, you know what? Let's also post it to LinkedIn. Why not? 2.5 hours long. Huh. Okay. I wrote about why MCPs are super exciting from a cost efficiency standpoint. If you care about money, read this post. There you go. Okay, cool. So there's that. And then also, this should have posted. No, is it still going? Maybe it just hasn't posted yet. But normally, I've got a post that goes out automatically. Here, let's add this as my pin. I heard that pinning things regularly is actually good for the algorithm. Okay, well, that didn't publish, but that's okay. Yeah, and here, we'll just, honestly, let's just copy paste this guy. I don't need to be anything special. There we go. And rewrite with AI. My goodness. We're all just talking to each other with AI. They probably have a summarize with AI button. Oh, that's funny. Verify your now. Okay, verify. No, I'm not going to verify anything. Thank you. Okay, cool. So take a look at that. No other question. Oh, hey, we do have a question. Don't ask if you can ask a question. Just ask the question. Go ahead. Ask the question. You're 15 seconds behind me, so I'm going to let you ask that, and then while I'm doing this other stuff. Maybe I should post on this on Blue Sky too. New post. This thing. That thing. Post. There you go. And, oh, nice. Thanks. What's up, Craig? Okay, very good. And that takes care of that. Did we get a question from Akash? No, nothing yet. So we're going to just wrap this up then. See if there was anything else I wanted to do. Yeah, here I can close this now. And I think I'm going to go and eat something and then get to work on my workshop. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time.